Intro. Hello, welcome back to Funding Fridays. We are back for a whole new series, having had a little break since February, and I'm kind of starting where we finished at the end of our last series. So welcome back, Vicky. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you.
Before we talk about who you are and where you're from, I just want to set the scene for anybody who has just found us. So my name is Debbie Lewis. I am the Regional Ecosystem Manager for NatWest in the Enterprise team covering the East Midlands and East of England. And it is part of my role to help our SMEs across the patch navigate all of the fantastic business support and funding and finance that is available to them. So just a small part of my job. However, it is the biggest question that I am asked is how do I find money to grow my business? And that was really the premise of the podcast. So you can catch us here on Anchor, which I believe is now owned by Spotify. So that will look very different this time around. But also if you prefer to view it, you can find us on YouTube. If you need the links, just drop me a message on LinkedIn, search Debbie Lewis NatWest, you'll find me there and I can send you everything that you need. So Vicky, enough about me and the podcast. Welcome back. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Vicky Clark. I am the Senior Business Advisor for Digital Future First.
And Digital Future First covers what area?
So we cover any SME, micro businesses, sole traders in the Northamptonshire, Bedfordshire and Milton Keynes area.
Amazing. Do they have to be limited companies? Can they be social enterprises or charities?
Yes, any of those. So we help any business or charities, limited, CIC, social enterprises, anyone who falls into the area.
Brilliant. If you are doing business in that patch, this is for you. That's what I love to hear. Thank you for clarifying. I hear you've got some new money for us.
Yes, so hot off the press. So the SEMLEP Growth Hub, so SEMLEP stands for South East Midlands Local Enterprise Partnership, which is why we abbreviated to SEMLEP, has just released 2 new matched grants available to businesses within the South East Midlands area.
Amazing. Tell us about them. And I know they are so new that we may do some notes referring, and that is fine.
Okay, yes, so they are new. They were only released at the end of June. So there are 2 grants available. They are both matched funded, which means you do have to put a minimum of 50% in yourselves. But they are available to SMEs in the same area, so South East Midlands, that's Northamptonshire, Bedfordshire and Milton Keynes. Any SME that are trading and not in any financial difficulty. So the 2 grants, one is the Resilience and Innovation Grant, and they are matched grant from 5,000 up to 50,000, and then you've got the Grow and Innovation Grant, which is 100,000 up to £300,000 available.
Brilliant. Pause there just for a second, Vicky, because something I think people don't always understand. When you say match funded and that they have to provide 50%, actually they have to be able to afford to make the 100% investment up front and then they claim it back, don't they?
Yes, sorry, yes, no, that is right. So the minimum matched amount would be 5,000, so they'd have to pay sort of the 10,000 up to claim the 5,000 back.
Brilliant. So give me that baseline figure again. You need to be spending what as a minimum?
So the minimum matched funded amount is £5,000.
So a £10,000 purchase to get £5,000 back is your entry level. And then you said that bigger grant, which goes from what level?
100,000 up to £300,000.
So in total, you could spend 600,000 and get 300,000 back if your project matches the criteria and you're eligible and it's approved before you spend the money, because you can't retrospectively claim it, can you?
Yes, and that's a very important point. Yes, it's got to be, you've got to have the grant agreed before you can then go ahead and make that purchase. So if it's something that you've already purchased, then the grant wouldn't cover it.
Okay, amazing. So let's go through the smaller one first of all. Give us the title and the amounts again, if you will.
Yes, of course. So it's the Resilience and Innovation Grant, and that is up to 50,000, so between 5,000 and 50,000 pounds. Now, both of these grants are capital grants. So what that means is it's to purchase things as opposed to services.
Okay, it's stuff, getting stuff in your business. Can we go through a couple of scenarios or examples of what assets actually look like and mean?
Yes, so things that it can fund is equipment, so machinery, plant machinery. Can also cover commercial vehicles as long as it can be proven that the vehicle is for the project that the grant is for. It can be used to make improvements to an existing building, which means making that sustainable. Things it cannot be used for is it can't be used for any staff costs. So if you need to employ anyone for this particular project, it can't be used for staff costs. It can't be used for
Can't be used for things like marketing, can it? It can't be used for those kind of activities.
No, it can't. No, and certain software it can't be used for. So software that is proven to be for this project, it can be used for if you have the copyright for it, but can't be used for if it's to purchase existing software.
Amazing.
And it also can't be used for computer equipment, so it can't be used for laptops, servers, monitors, anything like that.
Okay, that's interesting. So if we go back to what it can be used for, I'm guessing if you're a dog groomer, it could be used for one of those gadgets that you attach the dog to, that's got the showers, all of the stuff that you need to do the dog grooming. You could use it for that.
I believe it can, yes. Now, all applications will go to a panel. Because it's innovation grants, there's got to be some element of innovation within the project as well. So that could be something that is new to the market, or it could be something that is already in the existing market, but it's new to your particular business.
Got you.
So the criteria, it's got to hit one of the following three, which is innovation, sustainability, or growth.
Amazing. So if you manufactured a food product and you had one of those fancy machines that does all the automation for you, if you were going to invest in some new kit that was maybe more sustainable or more innovative than the industry has had before, you could use it for that kind of investment.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
Fantastic. And I've just plucked two examples out of thin air. There will be a million things you can use it for. What would be your advice if people don't know if they could shoehorn it in or not?
So at the moment, there is the expression of interest application open. So this is so that you can sort of just pop it in there, what you're hoping to sort of use the grant for. If you are successful, you would then be contacted by a member of the business advisory team from the Growth Hub, who would talk it through in more detail. And then if it is something that you can apply for, you would then be invited to make a full application.
Amazing. So there is somebody who can help you identify whether or not this is going to be viable. Okay,
yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. Is there anything else we need to know about that smaller grant?
Not off the top of my head, so I'm just trying to have a look.
Don't you worry.
The expression of interest will close on that one. So the expression of interest is an online form which is open now, and there's no official closing date.
Okay.
So with the Resilience and Innovation Grant, it's an ongoing grant. So it will be open to apply for every 2 months.
Until the money runs out.
Until the money runs out, yes.
So if you are somebody who is looking at that top end investment, you really want to get in sooner rather than later. And obviously if you need to be able to have some conversations first, we will give you Vicky's contact details so that you can get in touch. But if you absolutely are sat there listening, thinking, this sounds like it's perfect for me, get that form filled in and get in early so they can earmark that cash for you. Okay, let's move on to the bigger grant. What's that one called and what are the amounts?
So the larger grant is the Growing Innovation Scheme, and that will be between £100,000 and £300,000.
Okay, fantastic. What are the criteria for that one?
So again, it is the same criteria, whereas you've got to be a trading SME within the SEMLEP, so Northampton, Bedfordshire and Milton Keynes area, and not in any financial difficulty.
Okay, brilliant. Are you able to expand on not in any financial difficulty?
So basically not in any liquidation, you haven't dissolved, you're not sort of struggling with finances.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. So this isn't a recovery or last chance funding. This is about growing a successful existing business for future development.
Yes, yeah.
Amazing. So they can be used for essentially the same practices. It's the same criteria around sustainability, innovation, and what was the third one? Growth. And essentially the two sizes are just because of the difference of money, the two titles.
Yes, I believe so. So whereas the smaller one, obviously the equipment you will buy for the purchase for those amounts, it's going to be different to the equipment that you would purchase for the larger amounts, but essentially it is the same, whereas the what you can and can't buy still falls under the same criteria.
Amazing. I can already see our clean transport accelerator entrepreneurs twitching at the thought of being able to get some more money to be able to develop those prototypes and beyond. So that's fantastic. Is there anything we haven't talked about in terms of the process or what people should consider, what they need to prepare, anything to help them be really successful with this?
Yeah, so something to consider is with both of these grants, it's got to be a project. It's a project you already have in mind, I guess. So rather than trying to create a project to fit within the grant to get some money, it's got to be something you're already thinking about, that the grant is going to enhance that idea.
Yeah.
Also, you can only apply for one of the grants. You can't apply for both.
Okay.
And for the larger grant, so for the Growing Innovation grant, the expression of interest on that one does have a closing date. So the expression of interest is the 1st of August, so 5 o'clock on the 1st of August.
Brilliant. And that is to know how much money there's going to be left over if you're all successful for everyone else.
Yes, yeah. Also with this, because it is funding, the funding is up until the 31st of March if there's still funding available at that point. So any project has to be delivered by that point as well.
Amazing. That is fantastic. To anybody who has not applied for a grant before, can I just ask some 101 questions? So this money does not have to be repaid, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it is a grant that is given to you to help with the growth and innovation of your business.
Brilliant, thank you. Just a recap that you cannot retrospectively claim it. So if you say, oh, well, I bought this machinery last month or last quarter, I'm sorry, no, you have to have filled in the forms and had it approved before you spend a single penny. And if people want to find out more information or they want to have a private conversation with you, Vicky, how do they get in touch?
Just drop me an email. So that is vicky.clark, that's vicky.clark at digitalfuturefirst.co.uk.
Amazing, thank you. Anything else that we haven't covered or any final little nuggets of encouragement for our entrepreneurs?
I would just say, if you've got an idea in mind, don't dwell on it, just get that the the expression of interest in as soon as you possibly can, and then you can start working on that straight away.
Amazing. And a question I'm often asked is, do you make it harder for people to be able to get this money, or do you need to give it away?
No, we need to give it away. I have, for myself, if you contact myself, I'm more than happy to have a conversation, and then put you also in touch with the business advisor team, who are more than happy to help. They will help in any way they can to help sort of that application be successful. They want to give you that money, but not trying to keep it for themselves.
No, absolutely. They need to give it away to keep the bosses happy, but also that money is there to benefit the local economy. We want businesses to do well, and that's what this injection of funding is for, to really agitate that growth and to help people to expand. So if it appeals to you, if you think I need to find out more, then please do get in contact with Vicky sooner rather than later to get more information on those grants and to apply. Vicky, as ever, thank you so much for joining me on my virtual sofa, and I'll see you when you've got some more pots of money for us.
Lovely, thank you.